Anyone who's ever worked with me has heard me say you don't change the mop heads without talking to the guy who mops the floor. He knows more about his job than you do. I originally heard it from a housekeeping supervisor called Grace, and it seems so straightforward, but we get it wrong again and again. One of the many, unfortunately, times when I got this wrong was when I was replacing the beds in about 60 or so nursing homes across the Western United States. It was the first time that I'd ever been allowed to spend $5 million on anything, and I really wanted to get it right. So I'd done my research, and I knew way too much about beds. I visited manufacturing plants, I read everything about the safety standards, I got all excited about pedal locks. I could tell you the high and low heights of every bed, all the specs, how many beds would even fit on a truck for delivery and logistics, every bed's weight capacity. I knew warranties, prices, replacement part costs, assembly, transportation, ease of cleaning. I even spent the night sleeping on each type of bed from all the manufacturers. I knew the right bed for the homes. Fortunately, someone suggested testing 5 or 6 beds out in one home for a week first. Every single nursing aide hated the bed that I would have chosen. I mean, they hated it. There's nowhere to hang the catheter bag. It's too high for me to reach across. Most nurses are not my height at 6'3". It doesn't roll in an emergency unless it's at the lowest height, and it's really difficult to do and takes too long. The quarter rails don't go down far enough to easily make the bed and tuck the sheets in. The controls won't lock out well for people with dementia that have to be at a certain angle to be safe. The complaints were endless. I had to go back to the CFO, and I was very nervous, and I'd prepared to argue my case that we should spend $500,000 more for the bed that the CNAs loved. Fortunately, Alan, who was the CFO at the Enzyme Group at the time, was he pulled out a calculator and he said, okay, this will work out to $50 a month per building over the life of the bed. That's a small price to pay for happier staff and an easier workflow. I'll always be grateful to him for that lesson, and to the many CNAs over the year who've taken my 6 months of research on various topics and turned it on its head. Always ask the front line. They know way more about their job than you do.